Boston Bros is number one thing not. You're dead wrong. You can catch me doing misbehaving with my products on. It's real boxing talk every time we meet with Ned, the TBE, and Conspiracy G. We bring it to you raw, unbiased. You know the deal. You can even get a poor dealer here from Dollar Bill with my guys by my side. You know we going live. All we need you to do is please like and subscribe. Boxing Bros. Peace.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by Teofimo Lopez. You can take a look and listen for yourself.
King of the lightweights, one of the pound for pound best, Teofimo Lopez. Teo, what's going on, man?
What's going on? This is what's going on, baby. Oh, this is what's going on. It's the franchise and the regular. Ooh. And if they don't believe it, hold on. And if they don't believe it, I got the certificates for it, baby. Signed and sealed, you heard? Signed and sealed, you heard? By the man himself, Mauricio. I am the undisputed lightweight world champion. What y'all talking about? Yo, Devin, what up with you, man? What up with you? That email, I should put a stamp on that shit with an email. What you got? Are you a Yahoo champion, Gmail champion? Which champion you is? Huh? We should go back to the AOL.
Yeah, I love the AOL. That was a little before your time.
So there you have it. Teofimo Lopez flashes 2 belts, the certificate signed by Mauricio Suleiman, and he's saying, like, what's up, Devin? I'm undisputed. Like, so Trill Dollar Bill, what you got to say about that?
I mean, listen, I said it already. You know what I'm saying? He is the champion to me. He got it. He earned it in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He beat the guy who was the last one to hold that belt. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they emailed Devin Haney something, but the guy who won it in the ring is Teofimo Lopez. You know, he has every right to be sitting there boasting and sticking his chest out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did. I wouldn't be like co-signing going so hard with the Mauricio Suleiman signature on the thing. I wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Mauricio, he's with Oprah when it comes to the belt. You get a belt. He give everybody belts. You know what I'm saying? So him signing off on it, that ain't nothing. But you did, to me, I feel like you are the real champion. You did fight and earn that belt in the ring against somebody who was considered the pound for pound in the sport, and a boogeyman and so forth and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all those accolades. Oh, the Escalades.
Maybe some Escalades in the parking lot. Maybe.
You know how all the accolades that they was giving Vasily Lomachenko, I think they should fall on Teofimo Lopez. I don't know. You the man that beat the man, so you should be the man. You know what I'm saying? You should be the man.
Ric Flair said so.
Yeah, that's what, you know what I'm saying? You the man who beat the man. You know what I'm saying? So you should be the man. And you know what I'm saying? I'm crediting you for being undisputed. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, you know, how much money you should be making more than other people. I'm not talking about that. But to me, champ, I'm giving you the credit as being undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all your belts in the ring. You didn't get the Google belt. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get none of those belts, the Yahoo belts, like you said, the Gmail, but you didn't get it. You earned yours in the ring. Stick your chest out, champ. You earned it. That's how I feel.
All right, complex.
Yo, this is exactly what bothers me about boxing is the organizations, the belts, the way they hand them out to people. It's annoying. But look, I'm actually going to make the case for Devin Haney real quick, right? And I believe this for this reason. I feel for Devin. I do believe Teo is like the champ, right? He is like he's got the belts, but this is why I understand Devin's side as well. So Lomachenko was the WBC champion. They took the WBC champion, right, as the world champion, and they gave him another title, which has happened in boxing before. We just saw Manny Pacquiao become the champion in recess, right?
We've seen. Hold on, my bad. They didn't take it. he requested franchise. Remember that. So it's not like the WBC.
Okay, yeah. So he requested. So he was the champion, and he gets this other designation, a brand new. We've never seen this before. Designation, right? Devin was the interim champion, and he got elevated to full champion. This has happened before in boxing. We've seen this happen. Interim champions, or in some other organizations, regular champions get elevated to champion. So Devin, he didn't technically win the belt, but he did fight to win a belt, a WBC belt, which was the interim belt. And by doing that, he got elevated. So he should be the WBC champion. But Mauricio's the one making this a mess. And this is what's stupid. You are devaluing your own belts because now you're flip-flopping. He's like sounding like G. No disrespect. No disrespect, G. But no, Mauricio is talking about like, oh, Teo's the champ. But weren't you just also taking sanctioning fees from Devin Haney to defend his belt, right? So you can't do you're taking out of both fighters' pockets, which is like crazy, and that should be illegal, honestly. And if I'm Devin Haney, I would be suing the WBC right now. Like, yo, wait a second, how is he the champion when I'm the champion? And you gave me the certificate, you gave him the certificate. The freaking, it looks like it was drawn with crayon on a laminated thing. That's supposed to be your official document. But we're both champs. How does that make any sense? And honestly, to me, the best thing to do is let's just make this clear and let's clean up Mauricio's mess. Fight each other.
Order the fight.
Yeah. Order the fight. Okay, if whatever the case may be, Devin is the champ and you're the franchise champ. Well, now we got to unite the belts. So order the fight or make the fight, happen, and then we know for sure who's the real champ, and that's fine. But I hate this, like, this whole thing, like, oh well, Teo's the champ, and no, you're the champ too, champ. It's just a yell of both champs. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't do that, Mauricio. You're lying. You're lying with your fighters, and you're messing up the sport. If I'm Devin Haney, if the next fight I don't get is against Teofimo Lopez, if they don't order that or make that mandatory something, I'm taking that WBC belt and I'm pulling a Riddick belt. I'm taking it to the trash at the press conference. I'm throwing it in the trash. Because that's exactly what it is. It's trash. It means nothing then. The whole point of these belts is supposed to stand for something. It's supposed to mean like you're the champion of the world. But if you have two guys in the same division, then what are we doing? And then you just gave Ryan Garcia the interim belt. So you got three champions in the same division. How is this making any sense? Basically, you guys are doing all these belts to get all these sanction fees, to get all these fighters standing there with the WBC belt. It's nonsense, and you're watering down the sport. It's terrible. And that's the number one thing in the sport that needs to change is the number of belts. The WBA is even worse, or they're just as bad. They got super champs, regular champs, gold champs, interim champs, regular champs. Like, oh, how many champs are you going to have? Not everybody can be champ. I'm telling this guy's champ. What's up, champ? And you're champ. Everybody, you walk into the gym, everybody's got a belt. So everybody's a champion. It means nothing.
I was just saying about the belt thing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to accept Devin, and that's been my stance on it since I've been on this show. I'm not going to accept Devin for being a real WBC champion if he got it through the mail. The reason why, you say he fought for the interim belt, so he should be real WBC champion. Nah, not even in the case, because the WBC has shown before they can put up a bullcrap fight together for you to fight for a belt. You know what I'm saying? Look, Stavern won his belt after fighting somebody that he already fought before to win that belt so Deontay Wilder could beat him for that WBC belt. So they could have set up a fight for Devin Haney to fight somebody for that belt that Lomachenko didn't want no more. But he did get that belt. So it's like, I feel like, to me, I feel like a fighter should earn their belt in the ring.
So let's give it to him.
And Lomachenko, yeah, I agree with you on that stick. Mm-hmm. Lomachenko was the guy that had that belt before he said he wanted to be elevated to franchise champion. He had that belt, and Teofimo beat him. The number one pound for pound guy, he beat him. You know what I'm saying? The number one guy in the sport. I agree, like maybe the WBC needs to do something like order that fight to happen, like they said the WBA said that they would do for Manny Pacquiao, who was a champion in recess. If he wanted to come back, he would have to fight that champion in that weight class, which I think the WBC would do, and that would be honorable. But we know that these belts, people are not the most honorable.
Devin, throw it in the trash, dog. Just pull it, throw it in the trash. Go pull up in the press conference, toss it in the trash, and be like, WBC is done.
Yeah. Unless you can get a real fight.
IG.
wholeheartedly disagree with Trill on this one. And but before I make my argument, I like to preface this, and the only reason I'm doing this is because in the previous segment, my co-host here was telling me I sounded like a Usyk hater. I like Teofimo Lopez. I think he's a great. Now, this is why I'm being honest. I'm disgusted with that video, and here's why: the fact that he got both belts, we have to make an assumption that Devin Haney has given up his title or he got stripped. You know, because you're not going to give two guys the same exact belt. Like this is the same exact belt, right? So clearly, Devin got stripped or Devin released.
Where do you see that?
Huh?
I haven't
this is
anything about Devin getting stripped, bro.
he gets stripped.
He just said he has the regular
Yeah,
WBC.
but that is Devin didn't get
Only one
stripped.
There's only one regular WBC.
Mauricio gave him both because
Both
Mauricio
belts.
just does whatever. He gave him both belts.
Both belts. Mauricio is the slime ball here.
One regular. So now, if you gave it to Teofimo, you must have stripped Devin Haney of his regular
No.
WBC.
Bro,
No.
they did it.
No, they
Again,
didn't.
You keep saying they must have. They did it, bro. So
You're
it's
assuming Mauricio follows any kind of rules. He does. He just does
You're telling me
whatever.
that is
He
two-
makes his
two
rules and he
quick.
breaks the rules.
All right, that's cool.
WBC.
It's disgusting. This is even more disgusting than
We be crooks.
telling me that there's two regular WBC belts.
yeah.
in the division. That's outrageous. To me, Devin needs to just sue the WBC. And I'm not saying sue for money or if he could get his back fees, cool. But he needs to sue to be like, yo, I need that fight right now with Teofimo. That has to happen. And another thing, and this is where I'm going to take a step further from Complex. I don't even believe there should be a franchise belt in that division. And here's why.
Nah, it shouldn't.
Lomachenko won that belt, the WBC belt. He gave it up just 1 month later. Why? Because
WBC a franchise champion. The only franchise champion in
All
this
right,
sport
let me
should be
just-
Canelo.
yeah, thank you. But let me just finish my point. Yo, so can what's his name? Lomachenko just won the belt. Once he heard Devin Haney's is mandatory, he begged the WBC to upgrade him to franchise and gave up the regular belt a month later. So I'm not gonna hold Devin Haney. I'm not gonna like disrespect him calling email champ this and the third when he wanted to fight Lomachenko, but Lomachenko didn't want to fight him. I'm not gonna punish that young man for that. It's not his fault that Lomachenko didn't want to bang. So then now we have a franchise belt that doesn't belong in that division. Especially it doesn't belong to Lomachenko because Lomachenko has done nothing to prove that he's going up weight classes, going down weight classes. That's why you should, if you're going to entertain franchise, I can understand that because why? Canelo is going up and down weight divisions. Lomachenko's not doing that. So he doesn't deserve a franchise belt. So now we have a franchise belt, a regular belt in the same division. Mauricio Sulaiman gave the regular to, Devin Haney. Now out of nowhere, we're talking about, Teofimo's now undisputed. Outrageous, right? But I will say this. Hold on, let me give him a little sip because Teo said something on Twitter the other day. And so this is why I believe Teofimo and Devin Haney is going to actually fight. He said, in order for us to bring boxing back to its fullest, we have to fight the fights that are 50-50 competition. This is a PSA to all the promoters and fighters. Quit being prideful and make the fights happen. It's not hard. Promoters, stop trying to make more money than the fighters. So when I hear this, I think he does want that Devin Haney fight. And I think it is going to happen. And I think if it doesn't happen, Devin definitely sue the breaks out of the WBC because this is disgusting. It really is. There shouldn't be two belts in the same division. Now y'all talking about there may be three. Outrageous, man. It's not right. It's not fair to Devin Haney. Yeah, I get it. If y'all want to call him the email champ, the AOL champ, yeah, all that's cute. It's fun. But it's not his fault because Loma didn't want to bang. And that's what I'm saying. But yeah, go ahead.
You came at me. So I'm gonna answer that. Never once did I say that Devin Haney doesn't deserve a shot at the belt. And I did say that he is the email champion. Where did he receive his belt? And when I say when Teofimo Lopez calling him the email, they could because they've been having banter. This is friendly banter between two fighters. This is friendly banter. Before he even got a belt, him and Devin was going at it. And he was talking, and Devin was talking about how he had accomplished more than what he had. So when he goes back and forth with Devin, that's just fighters talking. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, I've never said Devin doesn't deserve the title. So and when he calling him an email champion,
I never said that. You said that
because you said you wholeheartedly disagree with Trill.
Yeah, because you saying that that Teofimo is the champion, the WBC champion.
He is the champion.
I disagree, and I'm saying I disagree, and I made my argument why I disagree that he's the actual WBC champion.
He's the champion. He fought the guy who had the WBC belt.
You mean the guy who had the franchise
belt? You know what I'm saying? And they all had honor in it. See, he can't have franchise, but he had the WBC belt, right? And he fought for all the other belts that was on the line too. So you got all of these belts. That was a bad move on Mauricio Sulaiman because the Devin Haney was pressuring for a belt. Like how these guys was, you say Lomachenko was asking to be elevated to Devin Haney was on these guys, pressuring these guys to, can he get a belt? Can he get a belt? And they gave him a belt. You know what I'm saying? These are the belts people. I'm not blaming these fighters. This kid beat the guy who was the guy, who was the last one who fought for that WBC belt and won that WBC belt in the ring was who? Lomachenko. He beat that guy.
I don't know, man. I don't.
He's the man. That's what I was saying. He's the man.
He may be the man in that division, but he's not the WBC champ because you have to defend your title. Once you go, I don't want to fight some guy. You can have the belt. Just upgrade me to franchise, so I don't have to fight these mandatories. You're not the champ, bro. Like that. I don't know, man. It's like we're giving. To me, this is why I agree more on Complex's side. We're giving guys passes for to me, this is not sportsmanlike conduct. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like dudes is rather going behind the scenes, handing up Mauricio like, yo, I don't really want to fight these dudes. Just give me franchise and you could give him the belt. Yeah, we could call him an email champ. I don't care, as long as I don't have to fight.
Allegedly. This is all allegedly, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And you can't say the same way. You got to rock the same way with Devin, because if you feel that way, Devin didn't earn his in the ring either. So you got to keep the same.
But how can you earn it if the guy ain't willing to fight you?
You know what I'm saying? Because listen, if his guy has ever goals, this is what the whole franchise is. When you're trying to do something bigger in the sport, what he was trying to do was they was going to call him you would have said and if I go back and look, he would have been undisputed if he would have beat Teofimo Lopez.
Oh, what? You said
if he would have if Lomachenko would have beat Lopez, Lomachenko would have been considered undisputed.
Which I had an issue with that too.
He would have been.
I don't think he should be undisputed.
But hold on.
Because that's what franchise dictates, that you're doing something bigger than the sport, doing great things in the sport. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to do something big. And what he was trying to do was be undisputed. That's why they gave it to him. For something big. That's what their reasoning behind franchise is. Like what they say with Canelo. He's going up and down in weight. He's making spectacular fights. That's what they try to use for the Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying this. This kid, you know what I'm saying, beat the guy who was the guy. He should be considered the man. Now he has the one up on, because this is where people. I get it. Devin's my guy. I've been mentioning it before. Devin was when he was showing pictures of. I knew Devin before Devin even stepped in the ring, before he even went to Mexico to even have a professional fight. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about this Devin. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even fought the type of opposition that a guy named Lopez has fought. That's not against Devin's credit. He hasn't even fought the type of people that he has fought. I'm not getting mad on Devin. This is not a poor Devin moment. This is like, this kid has a right to sit here and gloat and say he's the champion, because soon as the same way Devin Haney can say he's the champion, why can't this kid say he's the champion? That's the problem with the WBCs and the WBA. They're at fault here, not these fighters. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get here. This sanctioning people, the WBA, these belts are the problem, not the fighters. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Hold on, let me make a quick point. Lomachenko won the belt. It was vacant, the WBC lightweight belt.
He never defended.
He beat Luke Campbell for it, right? Fine. So that was a
They
vacant
fought,
belt.
and they fought in the ring for that belt.
Yes,
They
fine.
didn't email him the belt.
Well,
They
yeah,
fought
but
in
you
the
want a
ring for that
vacant.
belt.
So you want a vacant belt, then you immediately basically dropped it to fight somebody else instead of fighting the mandatory. So technically, I do believe Devin should be the champion. You can't. And also the other thing, the franchise belt is supposed to
He
not be
should if he got the
transferable.
opportunity to fight him, but he didn't.
But
So-
that's not the sport. That's not a sporting. We can't take this seriously then.
He didn't.
If you can pick
So
and choose who's
everybody,
gonna
just because
fight,
you didn't,
that's not. You can't do that. The
so
whole
he gets everybody get a 5th place. Everybody gets a ribbon. Everybody gets a trophy because he didn't get a chance.
Let him finish his point though.
he look. Lomachenko won the belt, right? So okay, you're the man. Vacant or whatever, you didn't beat the guy, you didn't beat somebody for it. You beat another person, but you didn't beat the man for it. But fine, now you're the man because you got the belt. Fine. But then you gave up the belt and you took franchise as a title. It's not even supposed to be transferable. Per the WBC's rules, it's not transferable. It's not a transferable title. So you can't be, so Teofimo can't be even the franchise or whatever, technically by their own rules. This is why it's all nonsense.
I'm saying
Devin,
that's the belts. Those are the belts problems. They're messed up. You know what
but
I'm
that's
saying?
Devin's problem because Devin's a WBC champ and he's got a belt and he's paid sanction fees and he's defending his belt. He's supposed to have, technically, Devin is supposed to fight Ryan Garcia now to defend the belt. Even though Garcia doesn't want to fight him and wants to do other things, but he has an obligation as a champion to defend the belt. So, but Teo doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. You can't be the champion. You don't have any obligation to defend the belt against mandatories or otherwise.
We gotta wait for these guys. You know, these belts, they're gonna come back and double and come up with another rule. I'm just saying that this guy has a right. And besides, the thing is, between these guys, Devin Haney, this is not a crap. I think Devin Haney is a sensational fighter, and I think he wins probably in that fight. I think nobody is messing with Devin. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Right now, as it stands, this kid has fought the toughest opposition, and he won his belts in the ring. That's what I'm saying.
Teofimo Lopez is the WBA, WBO, IBF ring champion. Period.
All right, Ned.
That was a long-winded conversation or argument between Trails, Complex, and G. All I'm saying is how they doing Devin right now is messed up. But all I'm gonna say is they gotta let them boys bang it out in the ring, because that's the only way they can make this thing right. Because you can't have Devin Haney the champion, Teo the same WC. What is it? WBC franchise and WBC champion. Like you can't have that. You gotta let these dudes, and you can't just give them the belt and take the belt away from the man. That's just messed up to me. And all I'm saying, after Teo fights Gambosa, they gotta fight. They gotta set up the fight. They have to set up the fight to make it happen, because this is ridiculous at this point. You can't sit here and gloat that you took the man's belt when the man been fighting, defending the belt this whole time, and now all of a sudden you can just pick and choose when you want to take it away from him and give it back to him. I don't like that at all. So let's make after Teo gets his little tune-up or his little mandatory fight, we need Devin versus Teo to squash all this email chant nonsense. Straight like that.
Look, I'm gonna just keep it brief. Devin shouldn't have accepted the email championship, and he should have just remained interim and said that he wants to fight someone for the belt, because what happened when he received it through email was they eliminated having to give him a big fight. And so I think moving forward, fighters have to look at being emailed the title as a strategic way to keep you at arm's length. Because look, because he was emailed the title, right? He's now champion, and now Ryan Garcia is interim, right? But he probably would have had to fight Ryan Garcia. Instead of Luke Campbell getting the Ryan Garcia fight, it would have been Devin Ryan for the belt. All I'm saying is, you have to think to yourself, does accepting this through email benefit me? Yes, you get to call yourself a champion, but the downside is you no longer have no leverage for forcing big fights. So he accepted the email title. and now they're giving someone else the title. I hear what y'all are saying, but the point remains, he never won it in the ring. He never actually beat anyone for the championship. He was just given the title, so no one's going to respect it. But let's say hypothetically, instead of accepting it through email, he fought Ryan Garcia for it. Let's say hypothetically, instead of accepting it through email, he fought Jorge Linares for it. People would now look at it like, yo, he won that belt. He's the champion. He earned that belt. The issue is that it was given to him. And so because it was given to him, people can always sidestep him and look at Teofimo Lopez and say, well, he actually beat Vasily Lomachenko. Who was Devin beat? That's the issue we're running into right now.
Respectfully, I disagree, because this is the problem with boxing, is politics. The politics ruin the sport. To get a fight, you have to have leverage, and you have to do this and do that. It shouldn't be any of that. The fights should just be happening. The fights, look, Devin and Teo should just fight. That's the only way to clean this mess up that Mauricio started. Devin did everything he was supposed to do. Devin won the interim belt, right? Then he was the interim belt. Lomachenko, he's supposed to fight Lomachenko, so that's technically his ticket to a big fight, and that's the way it's supposed to work in the sport. You fight your way up the ranks. That's why mandatory challenges are necessary. You fight your way up the ranks, but then Lomachenko, to avoid that fight, took another designation. So Devin,
but don't just pin it on Lomachenko. Devin Haney also accepted the emailed belt. Devin could have said no. Devin could have said no. And respectfully, I let all y'all talk so long, so please. Like, what I'm saying is Devin could have rejected the belt, and he could have said, no, I want my fight with Vasily for the title. He was okay with Vasily being elevated and being emailed the title, so don't make him a victim now. That's all I'm saying. The belt, though. So, but essentially, exactly, he was okay with it because he was going
because now he's champion. Because in his
bro, listen.
By the rules, you're champion.
Please, and I promise you, review this episode. The airtime, I said nothing. Now I'm speaking.
It's not about. I'm not trying. I'm just going back and forth.
I just want to make the point.
Okay, go on.
Okay, then you can say whatever you got to say after. The point is, Devin received the belt via email. He accepted it. At the same time, Vasily Lomachenko was being elevated to franchise. He never disputed or demanded the fight with Vasily Lomachenko, bro. He didn't do everything in his power to force the WBC's hand to make the fight with Vasily Lomachenko. He could have went to court. He could have said, no, I'm interim. He's WBC. I want this fight. Like, give me this fight. I am against designating him franchise champion to give me the belt. He never said that. He was okay with the scenario because he was going to receive the belt. And now that he has the belt and they did everything under the sun to him, now you want to say they did him wrong. How can you say they did him wrong by giving him a belt? That's all I'm saying. That don't make no sense.
Well, can I respond to that? The reason why it's wrong is because y'all are saying that the Lomachenko versus the Teofimo fight was for undisputed. So then once you do that, you discredit the value of the regular WBC belt. That's why it's not, even if he got the belt or not, he's not going to get the value. So even if he fought Ryan and said, hey, you won the regular WBC belt, we still is going to say Teofimo versus Lomachenko's for undisputed. That's the problem. So it's like, I pretty much will.
It's not what we're saying. And you're missing the point. I think what Trill's saying and what I'm saying is this. You're wrong. We're not saying that, oh, the belts are devalued. We're saying he never won it in the ring, and that's where the issue comes in. Because to your point, yeah, they gave him the belt, and then they made Teo versus Vasily, and then they made the winner of that undisputed, right? You know how they never could have done it? If he would have won the belt in the ring. That's the whole point.
That we couldn't, though.
I don't know.
Tried to fight.
That's the whole point.
How do you know he tried to fight? He said it on the internet. No, I'm sick of. I'm like the perception. Like we got to get out of the whole thing of perception. You know what I'm saying? Like people get wild up in perception. I get it. He's a young brother. I ride for Devin. I ride for the young African-American fighters in the sport. I like Devin. I know things about Devin that y'all have no clue about. You ever heard of a guy named Hector Gonzalez or Hector Garcia? You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know who I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, how I'm in tune with Devin. When I say I'm a fan of Devin, so it's not me bashing Devin at all. I have a lot of love and respect for Devin and his dad. You know what I'm saying? Now, like when we talk now, let's go in and talk about what happens. It's perceived, right? For the wildest, we thought like I'm not even going to brain wilder in it, but perception will have a person thinking that somebody is what they are and what they're not. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that Teofimo Lopez is the man and has a right to stick his chest out because he earned his belts in the ring. He beat the man who was the man. Even if it was a vacant belt, he won it in the ring. He won it in the ring, guys. It's not. We're not talking. What are we talking about? He won it in the ring. This is what we're talking about. He won it in the ring. He didn't defend it, right? He elevated to franchise. That we're saying that he wanted it or whatever. We don't know what Marcel Suleiman is doing. It's what this is what we're saying. Like we're allegedly saying that Devin Haney really wanted this fight because he went to social media and said it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not behind closed doors. The only thing we can do is speculate and think that this is what's going on. If this fight was, I agree that these two brothers do need to fight. But as of right now, the guy that beat the guy that was hurled as being the guy is Teofimo Lopez, and he has a right to stick his chest out. And he earned his fight. He earned that. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney is a talented fighter, but it discredits him when he gets the belt. Like you was even rocking with me when I said about Ugas getting the belt through the mail. What's so different with it? Because it's Devin.
It's not.
You was rocking with me when I said I think you should not a real champion if you get it through email.
What the bigger picture though that I think what you're missing, G, is this, right? And so here's what I would say: if I'm the WBC, right, and you try to say I did you wrong, I'm going to say, how could I have done you wrong?
I gave you a belt.
I gave you a belt. You accepted the belt, right?
The answer.
One. All right. So one is that now you agreed with, you were okay with me making Vasily Lomachenko franchise. You never disputed it. I gave you the belt. You accepted. You were happy with that. Vasily was franchise, right? So now Vasily never lost the belt in the ring. I gave you the belt. Vasily fights Teofimo Lopez and he loses to Teofimo Lopez in the ring, and Vasily's now franchise, right? So I make him franchise and I give him a regular belt too. To the world, he's franchise, right? But I'm giving him this regular because I'm really doing this because I want to solidify the fact that he's undisputed. But this is just a certificate for him to hang up in his wall. You're still regular.
Yeah, and everybody's big on this whole
hold up.
Lomachenko ducked. Lomachenko never ducked to Devin Haney. He was going off to do something greater, and that's what the franchise belt was for.
But what you're missing is again, the same way they gave regular to Tio is the same way they gave it to Devin. You understand what I'm saying? So we've been talking about this. They're giving it away. Giving it away.
But my only one point, this is where I guess where I'm not seeing what y'all are saying, is the simple fact that franchise was supposed to be, even if you lose, it doesn't go to the next man. This is your, like, the designation is your franchise.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but G, see, this is what I'm saying. You acted before the fight with Teofimo Lopez. They already said that it was going to be transferable.
Yeah, that is my beef.
You know that already, G. You know that.
You knew this.
Yeah, and that's my point. Once they switched it up, now it's like, so what does Devin's belt even mean, bro?
Why did he accept that belt in the first place? So remember,
go ahead, bro.
That's right. My original point was this: don't accept email championships. Because when you accept email championships, you actually lose your leverage. That was what I started off with. And that's the key.
I agree with
that's the key point I was making. Instead, if you're the interim champion, instead of saying, if you're Ugas, instead of saying, yes, elevate me and do this, no, demand to fight Pacquiao. Try to get the fight with Pacquiao. And if they don't give you the fight with Pacquiao and they elevate you, say, I don't want him champion in recess then. I should be able to move on with my career then. But in this case, I wouldn't do that because you want to fight Pacquiao. You dig what I'm saying? But my point is, if Devin never accepts, then he's still in line right now. You understand? To fight Teofimo Lopez. And then the other thing is the interim champion, like Ryan Garcia, isn't even in line to fight Teo. He's in line to fight Devin. And Teo's the one with all the jewelry. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a sticky situation that he put himself in by accepting the belt. All this could have been avoided, and I know y'all want to make Devin the victim, and this is where I can't be on your side. And I think this is what Trill is saying as well. We can't make Devin a victim because he accepted a title he never earned. Had he said, no, I demand the fight that's going to allow me to earn this belt, we would be here right now saying the same crap that you're saying.
But dog, that's like
he got the fight, he won the belt in the ring, and then you went and you did this with Teo. But because he accepted it as a gift, he was literally gifted the title, bro. You can't do someone wrong when you gift them the title. It was like Ugas complaining about being gifted the title.
See,
Ugas didn't have to fight Thurman. Ugas didn't have to fight Terrence Crawford. Ugas didn't have to fight anyone to get that belt. He was gifted the belt. So now if they do some sly stuff to him later, I don't want to hear him crying. You never should have had the belt in the first place.
So now walk with me on this one point, and then I could almost rock with you, but this is just the one thing that's like holding me back from agreeing with y'all. When he agreed to take the regular title, right? He was under the impression, like we all were, that franchise just meant is only for Lomachenko. It wasn't until the Teofimo Lomachenko fight, then WBC created new rules. So now
I'm the only champion. That's it.
I agree. Lawsuits. We need to go to court against the WBC.
We got to check that fact too.
They just got to fight. They
definitely got to fight.
He definitely got to get his fees back. Because
they got to fight, bro. But how you gonna have two WBC champions in one division? This
one's crazy. I said the beef is with who we should be beefing with, not these fighters. The beef is with these belts.
I agree.
No, I agree. I agree with that. But what I'm saying about the whole Devin situation is, bro, this is what you're not like, exactly. Bro. If they say to me, like, bro, they call you and they're like, yo, we're gonna give you the regular, and we're gonna make Caden the franchise. And you agree to that? You a fool.
Exactly.
No, this is what I was saying.
And this is what I was saying when we said about Ugas, and we said about Ugas, everybody said that was whack. Him getting sent the email belt, he was getting emailed the belt. That was whack. That's not. And he was number one.
I'm happy.
Bro, they already showed who they cared about more. Listen, there's something with the WBC. There's a word for what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's called polygamy. It's called polygamy, right? And we got polygamous Suleiman, you know what I'm saying, giving everybody a piece. But here's the deal. You can always tell. You can tell who's the favorite, right? You could tell. Lomachenko was the favorite, right? We're going to give you the regular. We're going to make Lomachenko the franchise. Why were you surprised? This is my point. You could, no. Devin should have been like, no, I'm the main. I'm number one or nothing. He was happy to get a little piece of the jury. That's why I can't sit here and you know what I mean? Polygamous Suleiman did his thing. Don't be surprised.
Yo, you go on the WBC website right now. The champion, the lightweight champion of the world is Devin Haney. If that's Devin Haney, then that means that Teofimo Lopez can't be the lightweight champion.
Going back to what Trill said, that's the whole point. I can see we're going to have to end this because it's never going to go on. It's about perception, bro. Hold on. It's about perception. The perception is T.O.'s the champ because he's the one who beat Vasily Lomachenko, right? So the world saw
he's the WBA, IBF, all those other belts, absolutely. All those other belts, absolutely. He's the champ. And I would say he's the number one guy.
He has a certificate that says he's regular too.
It's the WBC, that's the WBC.
That's my whole point to you. The whole purpose of that certificate isn't for them to update their website, bro. The whole purpose of that certificate is to legitimize the argument that he is undisputed. They're not going to call him regular though. They're just going to call him franchise.
In the record books, at the end of the day, no matter what you guys say, guys say in the record books,
yes,
Mo Lopez is undisputed. Please let us know how you feel.
That's the asterisk there.
Yo,
There should be an
that's
asterisk there.
that's why he was doing it online.
That should be an asterisk.
To show Devin that yes, I really do have the certificate.
All right, so Teo's the real champ, right?
No,
Teo's the real champ, right? So Teo, defend your belt against Devin then. So show you're a real champ.
Teo is email.
You doing all this
He
talking
can do
online?
it. He can do it. Hey, listen,
show the world you the real
we all
champ.
agree
I
that
want
these
that
guys
fight.
should fight.
I want that fight.
Everybody wants that fight.
The argument isn't against the fight. The argument is about whether or not he's undisputed and whether or not Devin, you should feel sorry for Devin and all this. That's
same
what
way I felt about Ugas getting at him. You should feel the same way about
All right.
All right, please like and subscribe.
Hold on, let me get. I just want to get this out.
Let that
I want to say, all right, Devin is email WBC champion. Teo is email undisputed champion, and they gotta hash it. WBC. I know y'all be saying we be cheating, we be crooks. We be contemplating. They wanted this fight to happen. So this is all the push to make this fight happen. So Devin versus Teo 2021 come to end of the year. Bet on it.
So I just got one thing to say. They need to change that belt. That's the WBC, the WBP, World Boxing Polygamy. That's the WBP.
You down with WPP? Yeah, you know. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. Yo, it's the Boxing Bros.